Oh, we recording. Oh, well, my name is Eddie.
And I'm Omari.
And we are the two voices of the week.
Start Native.
Our culture unfiltered. Discussing the way of this world.
And
the next.
Two voices.
Two voices.
Queer.
Queer.
Candid. Discussing the way of this world and the next.
Discussing the ways of this world and the next. Discussing the ways of this world and the next.
Discussing the way of this world.
Discussing the ways of this world and
This one tastes different.
I So,
what?
you were telling me earlier about Demi Lovato.
Oh, that.
And about a song that she made.
Yes, she came out with a new song this week.
We're not going to say his name.
But the name of the song is Commander in Chief.
That man. Him.
And it's a very interesting song. I actually liked it. I liked it.
Yeah.
But honestly, the reason why we are coming up with this is because we have to. If you have actually paid attention to us, especially on the podcast episodes, then you will understand that Stark Native has a
we have very strong feelings about artistic liberties.
Exactly.
You should be able to say what you want to say. I don't think artists should be restricted from what they want to put in their art.
Correct.
It's subjective.
Yes, and not only that, but we have a different feel about celebrities.
Yeah.
There's a different thing. How we see celebrities is not the same way that other people see celebrities. So, but yeah, so I made this this post because I read the article about how one of her fans felt some type of way about her coming out with the song and how it became very anti-Trump and all that bullshit and blah blah blah. And I kind of understand the little girl or the little boy, whoever she is, you know. But I like Demi Lovato's response, and it's like she doesn't care. This is something, it's an artistic thing for her, and she felt like she needed to do it, and so she went and did it.
Exactly.
And by all means, you know, and she didn't feel like if she lose her fans, and she lose some fans, but she's an artist first, and she feels that she should be able to express herself through her art. And that's really how we in here in Stark Native and the two voices of the motherfucking week feel about art. That art is something that we find a way to express self and let ourself and our views and how we see certain things and express it on it.
You should be free to say what you want to say, and I think it's become such a big conversation with with artists, and I consider comedians artists as well. Even like people.
It is because it's an art.
Yeah, it's an art to be able to have that kind of time and to be able to tell those kind of jokes and have that kind of wit. And people think because something isn't funny to them or because it offends them, then you're not a real comedian. You're not an artist. This is tripe. This is And it's like, well, girl, that means that the brand ain't for you.
Not only that, do you know how to be comedic?
Also, like we said before, context matters. So, you know, I think that's a thing too. It's like, you know, even watching like old shows and old TV shows, there are certain things I'm probably not going to watch. Even though I loved them when I was a kid, I may not watch them again. I haven't watched Cheetah Girls again. I'm probably not going to watch it. I like it where it was. I'm not going to watch it again. I saw like a clip of it. I was like,
I
don't really want to watch this. Yeah, I was like, I don't really want to watch it again. I don't need to. Now, I will watch like the only thing I will watch from Disney Channel is the movies, the little horror movies. I like those are cute because they're pretty innocent and, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah, because there's certain movies that they were made during that time or during the time that it was made. And that because we have evolved and we have looked at things differently and how we are now, that when we see those type of movies or we see those type of shows, it's like the joke is not there anymore. Or the way of the story is not there anymore to the sense where now you're not able to relate anymore.
Yeah, some things just don't age well.
Yeah,
some things just don't age well, and that's just how it is. It's funny. I started watching so I was watching the movie Little Women earlier, the newest version of it. They had like 4 or 5 different versions. It's based off of a book. I was watching and I was just like, this is an interesting
movie.
It's an interesting movie because it is so white.
Oh.
It is so white. There's not a drop of color in it from what I've seen so far, and I'm about roughly like 20 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting to see a movie that is because it's a period piece, but it's like I don't mind watching something like this if it can just be white and let it be that, and it doesn't have like when you do have like the black characters, they're like working for them or being oppressed by them. As long as none of that shit is in there, even though that is a reality for that time, and I think that's the funny thing about watching this. Like, this is interesting because the way they frame this story and the way they frame these white people's problems back there in that time, and that was like 1800s, you wouldn't even know that slavery was a thing. You wouldn't even know there was something so atrocious like slavery happening because of their little problems that they have. Because most of it is about like sexism. It's about like men, like women under the thumb of men.
Yes.
And but outside of that, there's a whole fucking like racial like oppression going on. But these people are walking around in their big ugly clothes with their fucking silk scarves and all this shit. And
because in reality, that was not affecting their life. Yeah, so then that's why it's portrayed the way that it's portrayed.
But it's like, the thing is, I'll watch it because I don't mind watching stuff like that as long as I don't have to see black people getting treated like shit every 2 seconds. I don't mind.
The other thing that I was gonna say that because you were talking about that, there is this positive show that is very comedic and everything, and made a lot of buzz during the Emmy Awards. And it's Schitt's Creek. There was this girl that made a tweet. It's at Goth Spider Bitch, something like that, where she says Schitt's Creek made a point to make viewers feel safe by showcasing women without harassment, queer love without trauma, sexual fluidity without shame, economic disparity without mockery, and creativity without limitation. What they built is just so special. They deserve it all.
See, and that's interesting because we talked about how the show had been on for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And it had only been nominated for Emmys like these last couple of years. And it's almost like sometimes you can make something so special. You can create something so special.
That it takes time.
That time has to catch up with what you're making.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. It's like the show's been good.
Like
the show's been good, but time had to catch up with it to realize that it was good. That's what you call being ahead of your time.
Yeah.
And
because it was.
Yeah.
It being really was.
Your time is to redefine.
Because the thing is,
like,
that show has 5 episodes. So that means, no, not 5 episodes, bitch. It has 5 seasons, meaning that it been on for 5 years. That it took 5 years to actually finish this show. Yeah. And it's like, damn.
And it's interesting that when it's ending is when it started getting.
It's when it started to get noticed. And not really.
That's a blessing.
Yeah. I was going to say, no.
Got nominated last year. But...
True. The only thing that I was going to say that because of the pandemic, a lot of people were watching. Mm-hmm. So that might have done a little bit of an effect because it was on Netflix. So they had to like watch it.
Well, that's how it was with Pose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
people didn't watch Pose when it was airing like that first season. But then it got on Netflix and more people got onto it. Then it was like, this highly anticipated thing and all that stuff. Yeah. I love watching like that organic following. Which kind of brings me to this, to Stark Natives. It needs to be said that Omari, and I'm going to speak for he who is me, Omari, I don't really give a fuck what any of you think. And I love my friends, I love my family, and I will take, criticism, and I will apply it where I feel it should be applied if I think it needs to. But I do not, I don't want to hear your opinions. Especially if you do not support my show. If you do not share these videos, if you do not tell somebody that you know who has a podcast or has a following that, hey, my friend does this, why are you coming to me telling me your opinion about what the fuck you think? I don't care what you think.
And in other words, make sure you do your daily, saintly fucking duties. Okay?
Yeah. So it's like, that's the thing. It's like, sometimes I think, like, the thing about me, and Eddie knows this, and the thing is, thankfully, me and you are creative partners. So
I call you my film husband.
So it's like, I don't mind asking you for advice. I don't ask people for advice because because I don't want it. That's the thing. I don't ask for it because I don't want it. If I want it, I'm going to ask for it. You can ask a lot of people. I rarely ask for people's advice because I don't care. I really don't care because I'm going to do it anyways. And with the show like Schitt's Creek and with the show like Pose or with the show like P-Valley, you know, these shows, sometimes people have to catch up with them. You know, sometimes it just, you know, people don't know. Yeah. So it's like people try to tell you what they think you should be doing and who you should be and what you should. Let me tell you something.
We do not want any of it. Nothing. Any of it.
Dead it. Mm-hmm. Like dead it. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I kind of want to say is that if you are not doing it, if you are not having your own podcast, if you're not having your own YouTube channel, if you do not do something in the social realm with your art, with your work and everything, then do not come for me and tell me how I need to do my shit. Okay?
And that's that on that.
Yeah.
You know, but I just had to say that real quick because I think sometimes people get it twisted.
That's why I had to let Omari say what he needed to say because I felt like he really needed to say all that. You know what? Let me sip over here and drink my wine.
It's like I do appreciate the people who do support us. I do appreciate the people who listen to us. But I think sometimes you got to keep your fucking opinions to yourself when people don't ask for them. Especially when it comes out to what other people are doing. Like, if we're doing something, we are doing it. At least we are doing it. We're still doing it. We're going to grow. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to fuck up. This shit might not be right. It might be framed. I thought that whatever. Okay?
Hey, at least we're doing something.
Progress,
are you?
You know? Like, I like being able to go back and look at our stuff and be like, you know what, bitch? That was cute. But this right here, what we doing now, that's cuter.
How am I to police somebody when I'm not doing shit?
Yeah, it's like, who am I? Like, I can't.
Like you telling me how to do my shit, but what are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you an artist? No. Okay, then shut the fuck up. Stay in your lane and let me do what I need to do. Okay.
So right now I'm reading my friend's story. She's writing a book. I had to tell her, like, before she gave it to me, I was like, I have not read like a
book,
a fictional book. Like, a lot of the stuff that I read now is more like cultural studies type stuff, or like, you know, storybook, like that kind of stuff. Like, I don't read like how to tell a story, like that kind of stuff. I read a lot of like learning material, not like fictional work. So I was like, I may not necessarily, I kind of got to like fix myself, like fix my mind to reading like that again. Because when I was younger, I wanted to be an author. Like, I wanted to write a book, but I didn't like the way books were written. I didn't like that this person, or he said, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da, he said, like, I'm going outside right now, he said. And I just hated that. I hated that format. So I told her, I was like, I'm just reading it for the story. And if I ever give a friend like something for a mind to read, I'm not letting you read it for like formatting. I can format it later. I can fix spelling and punctuation. I can fix all that later. I need you to read it for the story. Does the story make sense? Does it make you want to keep reading? Would you buy this book once I publish it?
Correct.
That's what matters to me. And I think sometimes people get in this weird like professor box where they think that they're supposed to like mark your shit up and don't do all that. Tell me, does the story make sense to you?
Not only that, but it's like, if I'm asking you to tell me something or to give me an advice in a specific thing about the story, then that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
You only should try to keep it within what I ask you. Yeah. Any other extra shit that I did not ask you, it better be good. Because if it's not good, then bitch, I'm gonna have to say a few shit to you.
Respect my creative boundaries.
Thank you.
Respect my creative boundaries. That's the thing. And maybe, you know, the thing is, I only have probably like 5 people on hand that I would ask for creative advice from. And those are the only people that I probably will listen to. Unless you were somebody who is doing something and I see you have a following, it's like, okay, this is working for you.
Yeah.
So then what is it that you were doing that you feel that we could do
better
to make it better?
Because that's another thing. I look at those type of people. Like, I like to look at the people that are doing something, that are already doing something similar to what we are doing. So in that way, we see, okay, so if you did this, how can that work for us? Because the thing is, Starry Native has his own vision. It has its own way of things. And Some people might not see it or not see it because the thing is you're not behind. Yeah, you're not behind the scene. But there are beautiful and ideas and incredible shit that are in the mix to be coming in the near future.
And it's like the thing is that's why it's like you can't. You can never try to explain your vision to somebody else because sometimes it's not for them to see before it is. Mm-hmm. Like before it becomes what it is. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes it's not for them to see.
You have to be careful in the sense of like how you bring those ideas and you talk to those people and let other people hear your ideas and everything, because some of those people either might be jealous or might feel some type of way and they might not really give you the advice you need. Yeah. And then they feel some type of way. Take your ideas. Yeah. Or take your ideas and then you kind of fucked because now you have to find another way. Yeah. And then that's why you always want to be careful to who you share your ideas and how you share your ideas. So in that way, when you're actually going to work about it, they are not expecting something out of it, you know, or they are not stealing your ideas, or they don't, or they are not discouraging you, because that's another thing. Some people might be so fucking jealous that they want to discourage you not to do something, even though you might not see it, but they're doing so. Yeah. So, you know, we have to be careful.
Being a creative person is very hard because just being an artist, period, if people don't see anything happening, they don't believe it. You know, like they don't believe that you're an artist if they don't see any art. They don't believe you're a creative if they don't see any creativity. Like, you know, you can make things and you may not just want to share it with anybody just yet. You know, you might be sitting on a couple of things. I'm sitting on a couple of things and it's like, I don't want anybody to read it yet.
Because it's not ready.
It's not ready. It's still cooking. Like, I want to go back to it. I need to take space from it. Like, sometimes you just need to take space with your art, and everybody don't understand that because we've been in this, we're in this society where we have those, the 4 agreements where we have, this is what success is. This is what work is. This is what, you know,
yeah, because people create these social contracts where you have to live your life a certain way and you have to do certain things a certain way, because if you're not doing those things a certain way,
then you're a bum, you're lazy.
Yeah, or you're not like living, or no. I am walking my own path. And I am doing what is best for me and what is in my path. I should not be walking your path, because your path is your path and my path is my path. So whatever works for you does not work for me. So that's what we need to understand. And most people do not understand that. Why? Because they live in the social contracts that they feel that they have to be abide by, and they do not understand that sometimes that is not healthy for us.
And then sometimes I think a lot of the times we are I'm gonna say we as people, we are living for other people. We are creating for other people. We are looking for a certain amount of success for other people to be able to get like the accolades from other people.
Yeah, because it's like we feel like we have to prove something to other people. And it's like, no, you don't need to feel that way. I don't need to feel that I need to prove to you.
It's just like, oh, I'm almost 30. You should be married and settle down and have kids. For who?
Exactly.
For who? For who?
What, for me to like be stressing out because I have kids and I have to provide to them, and if I don't provide to them, exactly, no.
I mean, I love them.
I have to love them too much, or I need to do these things because then they feel this type of way. I'm like, no.
Go away from me with this.
I am very happy with being alone and not having nobody in my life that, hey, just
as of now, exactly. You know, I think everybody wants a companion in some kind of way, but I don't want it. I want things on my own terms, on my own rules. And I actually had a friend of mine say that he felt like I was being, he said he felt like I had this rebellious teenager kind of outlook on what I wanted or what I didn't want to do. And I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with that. I made peace with that.
But why he said that?
Because I felt the way about, just about how people present themselves and how we're expected to present ourselves because we're on the internet, and how people choose to move on the internet. People do buffoonish shit, and I don't want to do buffoonish shit to get a following. I don't want to do shit that compromises my dignity and who I am and my character to get a following.
Correct.
I don't mind offering myself to people to let you see who I am, and if that appeals to you,
then it appeals to you.
If it doesn't, walk the fuck out the door that you look through.
Exactly.
But I am not I don't want to pretend to be somebody that I'm not just to have success. And some people might say that means you don't want it enough. Well, girl, if that's the case, then maybe I don't. I want it as much as I think I want it.
No. If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. And I can't do shit about it.
Yeah, that's on you.
Okay? That's on you. Because you do not know what I actually want in life. Okay?
One. Huh? Look, what they say, opinions like assholes, I know you got one.
Because assumptions is assumptions. Perception is perception. People are always going to see things the way that they feel that they need to see it. And sometimes it doesn't really mean, whatever they're seeing doesn't mean that it's actually true. So if that's how you perceive it, then that's how you perceive it. And I can't do shit about it.
Also,
because at the end of the day, you're still going to perceive it the way that you feel like perceiving it, because it fits your world.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
We've seen plenty of successful people who are extremely unhappy, have addictions, commit suicide.
Yeah.
Done heinous shit to kids and people who can't defend themselves. Girl, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So, let people have the success that they see. Exactly. Not what you think they should have because you just think they're so talented. That's cool. You can think all of that. Just when they put the shit out, support it.
Exactly.
But don't try to make them be something that they're not.
So, my name is Eddie.
And I'm Omari.
And we are the two voices of the week. Our culture unfiltered, discussing the way of this world.
And the next.
And do not forget to do your daily saintly duties by following, subscribing, sharing, liking, and commenting. And if you are listening to our podcast episode into this list that is coming up, then make sure that you follow, like, and all this shit. And if you are on Apple Podcasts, then make sure to leave a wonderful review and a 5-star rating. And make sure to always share with your friends.
And if you see it, share it. If you liked it, share it. If you have an opinion, save it and then share this.
Exactly. Whew.
So I'm Omari.
And I'm Eddie.
And we out.
Bye.
Bye.